if you're a 16 under, if you're not playing in the PG World Wood Bat or Prep Baseball National Championship, that scares me a little bit.
Level. This is why.
All right, guys, so it's that time of year again, New Year's Eve. Hope you guys have a great time tonight. Make sure you be safe. Happy New Year's tomorrow for those of you guys that stay up until the 12 o'clock tonight. I will not be doing that. I have 2 little kids. No chance I make it that late. But it's that time of year where we need to get into, okay, what's your summer schedule going to look like? How are you going to attack recruiting in 2025? Before we get into that, guys, something like 90% of our returning viewers are not subscribed to the channel. If you've come back to the channel multiple times because you've seen a lot of value in our recruiting videos, our college baseball videos in general, or our development videos, please hit that subscribe button. Really helps us out, and hit the like button to help us in the algorithm as well. So let's get right into it, guys. Obviously, January 1st is coming up shortly, and players will start getting back to campus. Baseball activities will start up very soon. And so what is recruiting going to look like for those of you guys who may be in your junior year or you're in your sophomore year, getting ready for your sophomore summer? We're going to go all over that right now. So from January 1st to the season starting, you may see, after this dead period is over in a few days, you may see a little bit of tick up in communication from college coaches. Again, that Christmas time, there's not going to be a lot of recruiting. They're back with their family. It's the only time they get off all year, pretty much. And this is going to be when they try to get ahead of things, to reach out to some players before really getting into the nitty-gritty of inter squads, getting ready for the season, and then they're in season, and that's their number one focus. Once they're in season, their goal is winning, okay? They're not trying to focus on recruiting as much. Again, our school's going to be reaching out to players during the season. Sure, they're going to be keeping up with their commits. They may be reaching out to some players who they really like, but it's not going to be the all-out blitz that you see in the summer, in the fall, and even the kind of later aspects of the fall. So this is what it's going to look like. More important for you guys is how are you going to attack recruiting once the summer starts? Now, for those of you guys who haven't been watching our channel, you know that there's certain dates that are really important for recruiting. So first off, guys, when's the portal entry date this summer? Portal opens June 2nd, and you can go in as late as July 1st. So what does that mean? That means that from June 2nd until end of summer, but typically until the end of June into the early days of July, a lot of schools are going to be primarily focused on filling up their portal replacements, the guys they feel like they need to get from the portal. So from June 2nd, from June to July, portal is the focus. Does that mean that some schools at some some big tournaments regionally may have a guy out there watching? Yes. That doesn't mean there's not going to be anybody, but I can tell you, and anybody in this industry can tell you, last summer from June to July, it was a ghost town at most tournaments. There was no coaches out. You saw a few, but if on average I was used to seeing 6 or 7 coaches around a field at East Cobb or up at Lake Point, I was seeing 1 or 2. And it was mostly regional schools that were kind of within driving distance of those tournaments. And the reason for that is everybody's out at the college summer leagues. So coaches are at the summer leagues. Scouting the talent, right? They see guys that are in the portal. You got the portal games that happen as well, where a lot of coaches go to. We'll probably be there this year to cover it. But this is the focus. So if you're going, like if you're looking at your summer schedule, guys, right now, and the majority of your tournaments are in June, and you're playing like one tournament in July, and it's like not a very big tournament, that is a huge red flag. Most coaches will be out recruiting high school players starting in July. So July is the most important month. Guys, if you're not out there in July, if you're not out there playing in the best tournaments, the biggest tournaments where all the coaches, generally speaking, are, it's going to be very hard to get any kind of exposure this summer, right? So you need to be playing those tournaments in June. There's going to be some coaches out there. It's going to be good tune-ups for the bigger tournaments in July, but we're going to go over the tournaments in July that I think, from being out at a lot of them these last 4 or 5 years, are the ones where most of the coaches go to. Now, obviously, there will be, I'm going to put a caveat on this, there will be a lot of coaches scattered regionally, right? A lot of the schools in the Midwest will go to some of the big tournaments in the Midwest. A lot of the schools on the West Coast will go to some of the big tournaments on the West Coast. But there's some tournaments that almost schools from across the country will be at, and that's what I'm going to cover. So first off, guys, let's cover prep baseball. So let's go prep baseball. And we're going to go over their national championships. These will all be typically played at Lake Point, north of Atlanta. And starting with the 15 under is from June 19th to June 25th. And I'm going to tell you, there's something I don't understand between prep baseball and perfect game. I think one of them is getting the scheduling right. One of them is getting it totally wrong. We're going to cover that once we go over all these dates. So 15 under, this is when this starts. This makes sense, right? Because 15 unders, with all the changes, most schools are not recruiting freshmen that are going to be sophomores. They're not really looking at those guys. They're so far away from being able to contact them. Again, do they see the PG rankings and the PBR or the prep baseball rankings? Yes, but they're not really spending a lot of time, if any, looking at these guys. So 16 under, going to be a little bit later. And that's going to be June 26th to July 2nd. Now, again, I think prep baseball's got the scheduling pretty good here. Again, your 16 unders, guys that are going to be getting close to that. They're August 1st. You can communicate with them. This is going to be the class that most people will try to pay attention to in the summer, because they got to get a jump start on the guys they're going to go after come August 1st. 17 under, again, which is a lot of people who will still be uncommitted in the 17 under class. They have this tournament playing July 16th to the 22nd. Okay, so we're gonna look at prep baseball, and then we're gonna look at perfect game here. And let's erase some of this, so we know. All right, so PG. Let's see here. So PG, guys, the scheduling, you're gonna look at this. It's gonna be kind of opposite. So PG 15 under is July 17th to the 24th. Now 16 under is going to be July 6th to the 13th. And 17 under is going to be June 25th to July 2nd. All right, so let's look at these dates and try to figure out if it makes sense where these things are scheduled. So let's look at the 15 unders first. 15 unders for prep baseball, June 19th to the 25th. 15 unders for PG, July 17th to the 24th. This makes zero sense to me. Zero sense to me. No one, in the prime time when coaches are going to be out late in July watching guys, The 15 under tournament, like I said, will you have maybe some coaches out there? Maybe, but the vast majority of coaches are not going to be watching 15 unders in the summer, all right? And we've already talked about July is the most important month. So we want the classes that are going to be most highly recruited playing in the middle of July and the end of July. So right there, to me, prep baseball gets the scheduling right with the 15 under class. From 16 under, prep baseball, June 26th to July 2nd, PG, July 6th through the 13th. I think, me personally, prep baseball gets his scheduling wrong. I think PG gets his 16 under scheduling right. And again, the good thing, if you look at these tournaments, they're spaced out to the point where you could play in both 16 under tournaments for both of these and do really well. Again, does that mean there's not going to be any coaches out here June 26th to July 2nd to watch the 16 unders at prep baseball up at Lake Point? No, but it means it's way more likely to have a lot more coaches in this time frame, early to middle part of July. So I think PG gets this one right because, again, the 16 under class is about to reach that communication date. So schools are going to want to get out to see at least the top guys that they think they're going to be reaching out to right away. So let's go now to 17 under, prep baseball July 16th to the 22nd, PG June 25th to July 2nd. They get this one wrong, right? Totally, I mean, 17 unders, there's still going to be a lot of schools in July that are looking for guys in their 17 under class. There's going to be a lot of guys. So I don't understand why we're scheduling that at the end of June, or really almost entirely in the month of June, when, like I told you guys, most schools are going to have their coaches out at the college summer leagues watching portal guys. Those parents, you can back me up on this. This past summer, until like July 8th or July 5th, it was a ghost town at most of these tournaments. I mean, there was like nobody there. So again, prep baseball gets the scheduling right for the 17 unders. I don't think the 16 unders are going to be served well with the prep baseball national championship. Again, this is the prep baseball, we'll call it the NC national championship, and these are the perfect game World Wood Bats. I should have clarified that at the beginning. But these are the big tournaments for both of these, obviously massive companies. But I do think prep baseball overall schedules this right. The two most important classes in the summer in a college coach's eyes for evaluation are going to be 16 under and 17 under. Like I said, they're not really going to be focused at all on 15 under this summer. So PG, I think, gets the 16 unders right. Prep baseball gets the 17 unders right. This does not mean what I'll say is this: if your travel team is not playing in one of these tournaments, meaning if you're a 16 under, if you're not playing in the PG World Wood Bat or Prep Baseball National Championship, that scares me a little bit. Because again, we're trying to maximize exposure. Like I said, there are going to be tournaments regionally. If you're in the Midwest and you're playing in some of those big tournaments up there, your coaches are going to be there. If you're on the West Coast, coaches will be there. But the tournaments with the highest concentration of coaches that I've been to are typically these. So if you're not playing in at least one of these for your class, that's an issue. You may want to bring that up with your travel ball coach, your travel ball organization. Figure out, hey, why aren't we playing in one of these? 17 under, prep baseball gets it right. Again, you want these tournaments to be in July because now coaches are just hovering around the college summer leagues all June. They're trying to get to the point where they want to get their portal class. If they need 6, 7, 8 guys, they want to get most of that done. Doesn't have to be all of it, but they want to get, if they need 8, they want to get 5, 6, 7 of them done and confident in the guys they've chosen so they can go out and recruit high school guys now and put the large amount of focus on that. So again, I hope this helps, guys. I hope it makes you understand kind of how recruiting is going to go in 2025, help you out in the summer. Again, do not panic if in the college season you were talking with the school a bunch and now it's kind of crickets. You're not really hearing anything, or we're talking every 2 or 3 weeks. Guys, if they don't win, they don't have a job. Their number one focus in season is to win games. Please let coaches do that. Again, you be the one to reach out. Hey, coach, pay attention to the games. Hey, saw you guys just swept them this weekend. Heck of a job. How are you feeling about the team? That's going to make them think, man, this guy really. I mean, he's watching our games. He's really interested. He's reaching out to us. Little things like that can be the thing that moves the needle to ultimately getting you a scholarship offer. If you're just kind of sitting on your chair there, hoping that a coach reaches out to you, these guys are so focused on winning, sometimes they just forget. That doesn't mean they don't like you. That doesn't mean you're not eventually going to be a good player for them. It just means, hey, be proactive in this process. If you've been communicating with coaches in season, take it upon yourself to be proactive and make those communications happen every once in a while. You don't have to be phone calls. Just reach out. Hey, saw you won 2 out of 3. Big weekend. That was awesome. I guarantee you'll get a response after that. Now, don't reach out if they lost the series. Hey, saw you lost 2 or 3. You had a tough weekend. Don't say that. But again, be positive. When something good happens, text them. Say, hey, I was watching the games. You guys look great. Pitchers were throwing a lot of strikes. I love it. I guarantee you'll get a response. Hope this helped, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, we're going to, as we get closer to the summer, we're going to go over a lot of the tournaments that I think are the best. But again, I do think if you're not playing in at least one of these tournaments, talk to your travel organization, talk to your travel coaches, figure out, hey, why aren't we playing in these big tournaments where, at some point in the summer, hundreds of coaches will be at these tournaments out watching games. So appreciate all the support you guys have put on the videos. We'll be back again tomorrow with another one.